Hi there and welcome along to another workout for you to row along to. Today's session is going to be a hard session. Now this is what I call mid-tier, the way I structure my workouts. What that means is that it's going to be quite a lot of hard work to get to the end of this one, but it's not going to be top tier. It's not going to leave you lying on the floor at the end. You're going to need to work hard to get to the end, but you know you're going to get to the end, okay? There's never going to be a point when you're like, oh, I can't manage this, unless you get the pacing wrong, of course, but let's not talk about that. Now what we're going to be doing today is 27 minutes at 25 strokes per minute. Basically, it dawned on me that I always do even numbered strokes per minute. So today, just for a change, we're going to go 25 and see what happens. Now your pace is going to be 2k plus 12 to 14 seconds. Now how you set that pace is up to you. You might want to start at 2k plus 12 and see how it goes. And then when you get to about 20 minutes in, if you suddenly start to feel, hang on, I'm getting to a point where I might not be able to make this row, then maybe back off to the 2k plus 14. Now I don't want you to use that as a, oh, this is getting a bit tough and I'm just going to back off. If you have to slow down to that plus 14, it's because you're trying to keep this at that mid-tier. You're not going into that absolute max effort, okay? So I need you to be sensible about this one. Or you could just start at 2k plus 14 and work through, and as you get to the 20-minute stage, you could then go, hang on, this is actually quite easy, and then you could speed up to 2k plus 12. It's your choice. The point being that today is just supposed to be hard and not max, okay? Hopefully I've caveated that enough today. So as always, let's get into our 4-minute warm-up. Now we start off by setting up our machine. Go to your drag factor first, set that where you want it to be. If you don't know about drag factor, then please check the video on my YouTube channel. Next up, go to your monitor and set it at eye height so you don't have to look up and you don't have to look down. And finally, the foot strap should cover either the bottom lace in your shoe, or more important than that is actually setting them to a place where you're able to get to the front of the machine and your shins go vertical, okay? If you can't get to vertical, then it's a chance that your foot stretchers are set too high. If you go way past vertical, there's a chance that you set them too low. That's the guide. None of this bottom lace of your shoe nonsense. Who said that? Right, we're going to start off at 18 strokes per minute on this warm-up, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Now it's a warm-up, so that means that you're just easing into it for the first minute. Say maybe round about a 2k plus 30 pace for now. And then as you get through this minute, I want you to steadily increase up to round about 2k plus 20 to 22. Now what that means, of course, is you're basing this all on your average time it takes for you to row 2,000 meters. So if you haven't done a 2k time trial, then I do recommend doing so, as my pace guides will make a lot more sense if you have a 2k average time. So basically, if you rowed a 2k in 8 minutes, your average time to cover 500 meters is 2 minutes. And so you just plus or minus the amount of seconds I tell you to. Right, so we're a minute in, so maybe get closer to that 2k plus 20 to 22 pace. Get a bit more of a push from your legs. Start to work on that timing from when your feet connect to the foot plate and when the handle connects with the flywheel or the water wheel or the hamster wheel or the Falkirk wheel. I'm just saying wheels now, aren't I? Okay, in 3 strokes time, we'll take 1 foot out of the straps and put it on the floor. 1 more. 1 foot out on the floor, carry on rowing. So you've just got 1 foot strapped in and continuing with your normal rowing stroke. And this will hopefully help that compression at the front of the stroke, getting that point where your shin is in a vertical position. Then you ease forwards, rocking over your hips. Last stroke here. Swap feet, and continue. I think I went one stroke too many then. Oh no. So you rock forwards over your hips, and then back over your hips. Forwards, back. But we'll talk more about technique in the first part of today's main session. One more. Both feet in, legs straight. Now let's just rock over the hips, pull in with the arms. Legs nice and straight. Not getting any power from them. It's just from that connection point as you swing over the hips, and you'll feel the handle connect to the flywheel at that point. And then once that connection happens, that's when you pull in the handle. Okay, roll to the front of the machine, straight arms, push out from the front. Don't have to go too far. All we're working on here is driving out the front with straight arms and making sure you time that connection right of your foot press and the picking up of the flywheel. Both very valuable things to do for the stroke. One more. Oh. Right. Keep moving up and down the rail. Have a quick drink, and I'll quickly describe one more time what we're doing today, and then we'll start the main session. All right then, so 27 minutes at the frankly bonkers 25 strokes per minute. It's la la land here. As far as programming the monitor is concerned, I'll basically just put 27 minutes in and then we'll start rowing together. However, you will also find this on the ErgZone app as RA16 under the little RA icon if you want to just send that to the monitor, and it'll take care of the whole uploading to the logbook and stuff. Or if you want to, I don't only say this, but if you want to, you can just program in 30 minutes if you want to log a full 30-minute row. And even though when I'll be done at 27 minutes, if you just want to crash through the cooldown and stuff to get that last 3 minutes so that you've got a solid half-hour row in there, then by all means do. Although you still have to do the cooldown, okay? That's the deal I'm going to make with you. You can crash through the video and go all the way through when I'm doing the cooldown and you're still rowing at 25 strokes a minute, but I want you to still make sure and cool down afterwards because the cooldown is so important, all right? God, I'm like your dad now. Suddenly, everyone just goes, unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. Right, you ready for this? So 27 minutes at 25 strokes a minute. It might take a good kind of 20 seconds or so for me to settle into 25 because it's not a stroke rate I row at, but follow me anyway for the stroke rate and we'll get there together, whether that's on the video that you can see me going backwards and forwards, or on the podcast and you can just hear me like a lunatic, okay? Right, here we go then, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. I remember it's 2K plus 12 to 14 pace that we're looking for. I was doing well at first, the first 2 strokes were at 25. There we go. Right, this is going to take a little bit more concentration than I'm used to. Might end up just saying nothing through the whole row because I'm too busy trying to get 25. Okay, so I seem to be naturally right now, without even thinking about it, at 2K plus 12 or 13. This went to 14. So let's see how I fare by the end of the 27 minutes. Heart rate wise, I'm assuming that by the end of this row it will spike up quite high. After all, like I said, this is a hard row today. Remember, mid-tier rows don't mean mid-effort. They just mean on the pyramid of how I describe workout intensity, it's the middle one. So bottom tier is still a workout. Mid is hard, and top is usually maximum sprint stuff, where you're lying on the ground afterwards, or very close to it anyway. So how are you getting on? Hopefully you're hitting the right pace, following me for stroke rate, even if I'm bobbling up and down between 26 and 25, but we're doing okay. Just remember, it's about rhythm. Stroke rate is always just about getting the right rhythm, and usually it's the relationship between drive speed and your recovery that is kind of what gives you that rhythm. The faster stroke rates, the faster your drive speed is, and the closer the ratio between the drive and the recovery gets. Like down at 20 strokes a minute, it's pretty much 1 second drive, 2 seconds recover. But the higher up through the stroke rates, the shorter that ratio gets, to the point that, for me anyway, at 30 strokes a minute, I'm pretty much 1-to-1. And that's all about the drive. And the drive is controlled pretty much by your legs, especially from a pace point of view, for how quick the drive is. It's that push from the front with the legs, generating a good 60% of the power into your stroke. And they tend to be what drives you back nice and quick when you need to, and then your backswing and finish with your arms, and then just what add in and top up that power. Something you can see if you've got a monitor that shows you the force curve, because what you really want is a nice tall round hill that rises up nice and sharp and high, and then holds that height before coming back down quite sharply again. And what that means is that you're pushing the power into the machine to start that hill. Then you use your back and arms to keep that hill nice and high, and then as that power all finishes at the back of the stroke, that hill just drops down again. What you don't want is either a bobbly curve like the Himalayas, which shows that you're not putting the power in evenly, progressing from legs to arms, legs to back, you idiot. Legs to back to arms. Like if you grab early with the arms you tend to see a little hiccup at the front of your hill, or if you've used up your arms and your back at the same time, you'll see your hill kind of comes to a gradual fall off. Anyway, so it's all about that push with the legs. But at the same time, there's a few things you have to bear in mind to get the power into the machine. The first of which being making sure you've got straight arms at the front. And that lets the power travel through your body, through those straight arms, and into the flywheel without you fighting against it by bending your arms too early. But then it also helps to have a forward lean at the front of the machine. So lean in by rocking over your hips and then being up on your sit bones rather than with your tailbone tucked under you. And if you've also got a braced core, a good powerful posture, then the power from your legs just surges up through your body in a bright blue flame into the handle and into the flywheel. Okay, so we're closing in on the first 10 minutes done. That's quite nice. Doesn't feel like 10 minutes for me. And I seem to have kind of settled into a middle ground of 2K plus 13. Sometimes I'll spike up to plus 12, and then I'll often drop off to plus 14 when I try and even up. But on average, I think I'm at plus 13, right in the middle of my pace guide. Just remember, I want you to try and keep within the boundaries of the pace guide. If you start off way too fast and then have to drop off well below the pace guide to like 2K plus 16 or 18, that's not the point of this workout. The point is that it's like a tempo difficulty. It's what I call exposure to hardship, or embracing the suck, where you have a row that's hard that you have to work at, but you're pacing it so that at no point do you feel you can't finish. So if you're rowing too hard and you look at the next 15 and a half minutes with dread because you're already breathing out your ears, then if you're not already, then please back off to 2K plus 14. And if you want to increase again, with about 5 minutes to go, as long as it doesn't feel like you're sprinting and really overdoing things, then you can if you wish. But I'd much prefer everybody just held this between 2K plus 12 and 14. This is why I have bottom tiers for the less intense stuff and top tiers for the really intense stuff. Don't tire yourself out so much on this workout that you don't have the energy when it comes to needing to perform. Oh, you can tell I'm working hard because I've got lots of sweat running into my eyes. Right, coming up for halfway through, which is good. My heart rate's still 149, which is, what are you saying? About 75% of max, I think. Couldn't read the screen from here. But it's where I want it to be. I figure I'll probably finish around about 165 maybe, which is taking me up there, but not up to max. And remember, the point of all this is to develop your confidence at doing intense sessions that you know you have the fitness to be able to push, so that when a session like, I don't know, 12 times 3 minutes at 2K plus 5 pace arrives, you actually look forward to it because you know you've got it in you, rather than fear it and make it feel like it's some kind of chore. Because remember, this rowing lark, we're supposed to be doing it because we enjoy it and we love it. And every day we do it feels like a gift because we get a chance to train doing something we love instead of just climbing onto a cross trainer or I don't know what else. Some people hate running or cycling, but we've picked this because actually it's great fun. And yes, we also get fitness and health benefits from the amount of effort and energy we're able to put in and expend while rowing. But really, if you want to get into the mindset of continuing to row and train, even if it's for performance or weight loss, doesn't matter. You have to enjoy it, because if you don't, well, either you'll hit your goal and then stop because you're not enjoying what you're doing, or you'll not even make it to your goal because you'll look at this as punishment, something you have to do. And that's not the point. The point is that this is something that you get to do. So just reframe rowing in your mind. Just, you don't have to love it as much as I do, but at least make sure you're enjoying it. So that way it doesn't feel like you're going to work every day. Okay, so as we approach the final third of this row, hopefully all my chatter about pacing and stuff has eased you into a nice, comfortably hard row where you know you've got this last 8.5 minutes in you, and you don't have to panic or worry about finishing. But of course, like I keep saying, it is a hard session, and what happens with hard sessions, yep, we start to fatigue, and when we fatigue, our technique starts to suffer. One of the first things to go is posture. You start to just lose that powerful posture at the front and at the back of the machine. So I want you to concentrate on rocking forwards over your hips into a powerful forward lean up on your sit bones, braced core, and then think about your arms, are they nice and straight before you get there? I don't want you straightening up as you get there. Then push with the legs, holding that forward lean. And with your straight arms, that sends the power into the machine. And once you're halfway through your leg drive, still with a powerful posture, that is when you swing your back over your hips from that 1 o'clock lean into a backwards 11 o'clock lean. Not too far, just 11 o'clock. And once you start that rock over your hips, that is when you finally finish strong by pulling the handle in to your chest. Send your elbows back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, a nice braced core to take the power, powerful posture, and the handle finishes at round about sternum height or bra strap height. And if you've got that nice powerful posture at the back, all you need to do is send that handle away from you again at the same rhythm you brought it in at. Remember at the very beginning when I spoke about rhythm? It's the same here. In, out. Vroom, vroom. And that release of the arms does a chain reaction into your lean back over your hips, rocking over them, back up onto your sit bones, forward lean, powerful posture, relaxed, straight arms, ready to brace against that leg drive so that you're hanging off the handle. A nice loose grip on the handle, fingers hooked over it, which not only helps you hang as you drive, but that open palm just lets a little bit of air circulate around your hands, reducing some of the sweatiness of them, which will either help with comfort in terms of blisters and things, or just make the handle less slippy. I don't really wear gloves when I row. My hands are used to it now. But if you look at the few times as I'm about to start a cool down or something, when my hands are quite slippy and I let go of the handle, it just slips right out. I don't think I've done that mid-row yet. I say yet, because it'll happen one day. Okay, less than 2 minutes to go. Concentrate on your pace, even if you really feel you're getting up there in terms of how hard this feels. You've only got about 35 strokes left. Less than a minute and a half. And they'll be all over, so you can manage that. I know my quads are a bit fiery, which is nice. Okay, 1 minute to go. I do like when a workout that I've programmed as hard actually feels hard. And I don't have to caveat it with a whole bunch of, if you're finding this easy, I'm going to assume that hopefully nobody has found this easy. And if you have, well, I'm going to guess that you need a new 2K time trial to get a new 2K based training pace. All right, almost there. Got 3 strokes. And we're done. That was a good row. Yeah, as much as I said that an open palm helps with sweat, judging by the puddle on the floor next to me and how wet my hands and the handle are, I'd hate to think what they were like if I had a death grip on the handle. Right, I'm just finding my 2-minute cooldown. There we go. Connect. Send workout. Oh. Other apps are available, of course, but today I'm using ErgZone. I believe Crew are in beta for their iOS version. That'll be interesting because the Android version of Crew is fantastic. So, right, let's go into our cool down at 18 strokes a minute in 3, 2, 1, go. So, I can almost guarantee that there'll be a large proportion of people who will have seen the thumbnail and description of this row and just gone, I don't think so, Tim. Now there's a reference. There you go, that's today's hashtag. What does the quote, I don't think so, Tim, or where does that come from? And that's the hashtag. So if you don't know it, you're gonna have to go hunting. See, I entertain you even when you're off the machine. So continue cooling down. Just connect with your arms and legs. You're not really putting in any great force. Maybe about 2K plus 30 again. Just enough to help with your breathing and help your muscles relax down. Just, like I say, cool down. Of course, if you set your monitor to 30 and you're still rowing, then figure you've got close to the same amount of time as us. I've got 40 seconds left on my cool down. And if that is your plan, then just start your cool down after a few seconds when you finish, and just as you listen to me do my usual sign-off nonsense. Who said nonsense? That's a bit rude. Today was a good row. Again, it's one that, as I came up with it, is the alternative on this Redux version of the 2K plan. I thought, is that going to be a bit too tough? 27 minutes at 2K plus 12 to 14, but actually, for me anyway, that was a bullseye in terms of how it should have felt. It was a hard workout, but at no point did I feel I wasn't able to complete it. At no point did I feel like it was easy, but also I really felt like I had to put some effort into it. Certainly my upper quads up here are that little bit sore, but that could just be after taking a day off and coming back, but it's unlikely. Anyway, so whether you did that as a standalone or whether you did it as week 2, session 6, I hope you enjoyed it. If you are doing the 2K Redux plan, then week 3, session 1 is a continuation of the It's All About Me story, where some folks had just asked for a bit of a backstory as to my rowing history, how I got to where I am right now. And if nothing else, probably gives validation as to why I'm the one sitting here. Because as much as I might not be one of the other guys, I'm still here making videos for you, proclaiming to know what I'm on about. So it's quite good to have some background so you can go, all right, okay, so he's not just some doofus. He has won medals, he does have a world record, all that kind of stuff. And he does eat spaghetti bolognese every Friday night. But that part you already know, it's fine. So do join me for week 3, session 1 if you wish. You can take, if this is the first time you've seen it and you're like, what is he on about? Then do take a look at the playlists that are on the RowAlong channel, and you'll see that there's the 2K plan, there's the 2K alternate Redux plan, which is where I've gone over them all again, just to try and improve some of the technical errors and all that kind of jazz. And then there's the 5K plan, the 500 meter plan, and then there's just a buttload of workouts. I think right now, I think this one maybe is the 200th, I'll have to count them, but I think this takes us up to 200. I might be wrong. I'll do the next, I'll count, and when I remember that we're up to 200 workouts, I'll set off a sparkler or something. But yeah, so there's loads of free workouts up there for you to do, and even though I've grouped some of them into a plan, you don't have to do the plans, you don't even have to do the workouts that are in the plan, you can just swap out any top, middle or bottom workout. I'm ranting again. What should we talk about next? No, I'll sign off. So thank you so much for coming and doing this one. I will see you in either week 3 session 1 or another video. Then please look after yourself. Please stay safe and always be well. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.